It's showtime, baby. Let's go. Woo! Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio, home of my new tailgate. If you haven't heard about it, we're going to be doing a tailgate live at the Moorline Lager House each and every Bengals home game. I really encourage you to come and join us. There will be a fee involved, but you are getting delicious Moorline beer, delicious Moorline food, access to the new bourbon bar that they're working on right now. There's going to be Bengal players there, well, former Bengal players there. It's going to be an absolute blast. I guarantee you, my boy, clock killing Corey Dillon is going to be there a couple times. It's going to be an absolute freaking blast. Details to come out here shortly, but I just want to get the word out that Moorline Lager House is awesome. So make sure you go there and check out this weekend. Hell, go eat there tonight. And if you don't want to eat there, eat at Midwest Best Barbecue. Right there on the east side, right off the Ward's Corner Avenue exit. Go out there and tell Tim Nicole I said hi, or I sent you. Get you some CTB wings, some Uno wings, some G-Funk. They are absolutely freaking delicious. And if you are in the market for windows and doors, check out Myers Windows and Doors and more at www.myercincinnati.com for all your window and door needs. I got them in my house. You should get them in yours. Also, what? My West Side peeps. The little gym we got in Cheviot, Ohio. It's Hail Marys. It's your ticket to the game. It's an awesome little sports bar. Big-ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks, free parking. It is awesome. Again, if you're heading there, tell them Iceman sent you. What is up to everybody in the chat? What's going on? Who we got there first? Brad's in there first. Stranger's in there. Paul Painter's in there. And Robert and my boy Crypt Keeper is in there. What's going on? All right, boys and girls. We are getting closer and closer and closer to Bengals season starting. I can't wait. The Reds won today, so they actually won the series against the Colorado Rockies. That's a good thing. Who knows what will happen in the next series, because I still don't see how you go to New York and you kick the Yankees' ass and then you come to home and lose the series to Detroit. But it's been an up and down season, and we're getting closer to football. Anyway, let's get to my boy, who I was on his show last night. If you missed it, you should check out Welcome to the Jungle. He wouldn't change the name of his podcast. I didn't even know he changed the name of it. It's called Welcome to the Jungle Podcast. Joe Farfsing's on there. They're from the riverfront. First time he's been on the show in a long time. But let's get to Joe Farfsing. Joe, what up?
See, I got to keep you on your toes by changing the name. I can't, let everyone just get settled in and just think I'm the, I disappear. So you gotta look for me.
I was looking for him, like, I kept getting tagged by Welcome to the Jungle Podcast. I'm like, who the hell is this? I don't even know this podcast. I know most of the podcasts, right? Not all of them. I know most of them. I'm like, I don't know that one. Anyway, what's going on, man? How's your off season been?
I'm ready for the season because this off season has been, I think, the dumbest I've ever experienced. I think I said that yesterday on my show. I'm like, just all the stupid narratives and conversation that's been going on. And it's like, can we just get to the fucking season? Because this is like, let the rubber hit the road and we'll find out who these Bengals are. Like, just
exactly.
Stop.
So are you kind of believing what I'm believing, that the Bengals are being overlooked? Because that's how I feel. Because everybody's like, well, if Joe's healthy, I'm like, well, if Joe's healthy, the 2 seasons he's been healthy, we went to the AFC Championship game and a Super Bowl. Just saying.
Yeah, ultimately, does it really matter? No, this isn't college football where you have to worry about. I guess that doesn't even matter anymore with the playoff, but you don't really have to worry about everyone else's opinion of you. But it's just kind of like you need Eminem to come back and start rapping about forgot about Dre, but change it to the forgot about Houday.
Right, exactly.
The Texans have come and taken their role as like the cute underdog, team that came from the depths, and like
that's fine.
Bengals didn't go anywhere. Like
we almost made the playoffs last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, we almost made the playoffs last year with Joe Burrow being hurt almost the whole season, and we lost him for over half the season.
Right,
we still almost made the playoffs. So let's get to Brad's comment here real quick. He says, I prefer the Bengals being overlooked for that reason. That's why I'm glad we're playing the Chiefs the second game of the year. That, to me, that's going to be a statement game right there. We come out and we whoop the Chiefs, or at least we beat them. Of course, we have to go play, in Burrowhead. They don't ever want to play here anymore, but we also got to go there and play. I think that'd be a pretty good statement to start. I know it's not to begin the season, but it's at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's you want to like just as the Bengals have struggled the last handful of years, you really want them to start out strong. And Bengals have a pretty comfortable schedule outside of the Chiefs game, and I'm not counting. I'm not going to go with the whole Burrowhead thing because that I
don't care. I still say it.
They lost that game.
I don't care. I still say it. I don't care. I don't care. I still say it. Because,
I mean, it's if the Bengals can win in Kansas City, they are set up to take a commanding lead in the division because the Ravens have a really tough schedule. Like the beginning of their schedule is like pretty tough. Yeah, exactly.
There's like ours last year. But I kind of want to do this kind of discussion. We can just go position by position here and just talk about, is there a weakness on this team? I mean, we start with at the top. Jackpot Joey. Knock on wood that he's healthy. When he's healthy, there's a reason he's the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. In my opinion, I hate you got to have Patrick Mahomes out there. He's got to be number one. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. It kills me to say that, but you have to. We're speaking. I'm trying to speak as factual as I can here. But I think Joe Burrow, when Joe Burrow's healthy, he's the second best quarterback in football.
I mean, there's clearly an argument to be made, and if he's not second, then he's third or fourth. I mean, it's him, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson that are the guys right behind Patty Mahomes.
I put him above them because they can't get past the AFC Championship game. Actually, Josh Allen can't get to the AFC Championship game. No, they were in it last year. Take it back. They were in it last year, weren't they? Yeah, it was the Ravens and the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So never mind. He did make it once. So, but anyway, they can't win it.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm not.
No, the Ravens.
No. Ravens beat the Bills. Yeah, the Bills haven't made the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, Ravens lost to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the one way they're trying to make sure they don't extend their winless Super Bowl record to 0-5 is they're not even going to get to the game before the game. Because they might accidentally slip up and win to make a Super Bowl and to lose. So,
well, that's the thing for me, and that's where I just don't understand. And it's not everybody. But I'm getting sick and tired of people saying, "Oh, is Joe Burrow, is he injury prone?" I'm like, dude, it's fucking football, man. I mean, Lamar Jackson got hurt. I mean, Patrick Mahomes keeps getting hurt, but it's not season-ending injuries. And unfortunately, Joe's had two pretty bad injuries. 2 out of the 4 years he's played.
Yeah.
It just happens. I put it that way. Now if he goes this year, and I hope this doesn't happen. He goes this year and gets injured.
You better knock on some wood right now.
Then then you might have to consider that. But right now, I just chalk it up to football. The point being, when he's healthy, you can't tell me a better quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes than Joe Burrow. There isn't one that has done what he's done. Like, just look at the 3-year run that him and Zach Taylor have had. And this is where I goes back to my conversation of why people don't think Zach Taylor's a top 10 coach. I think Zach Taylor's a top 5 coach. But just the last 3-year run that they've been on, AFC Championship game, Super Bowl, Joe's first full year in the NFL. Second year, AFC Championship game. Third year, Joe gets hurt, and then Zach still goes 9-8 and almost makes the playoffs. I mean, hell, if Tyler Boyd catches the ball against the Texans, we won every single game that Joe Burrow was healthy in. That's the only one we lost that he wasn't healthy in. And if Tyler Boyd catches the ball, hell, we might be in the playoffs for what happened. We barely missed it. So I mean, that's my point is And we're playing in the toughest division in football. And that's just not me talking. Lots of people are saying that. I mean, because honestly, if everybody stays healthy, and I'm not trying to give the Clowns any credit, but if Deshaun Watson actually gets somewhere close to what he was in Houston, the Browns are going to be a pretty good team. And if Russell Wilson gets back to the way he was somewhat in Seattle, Steelers are going to be a good team. I mean, I'm just saying the division is tough, is my point to what I'm saying. Not to give them all credit. I still think we're better than all of them. But it's the toughest division in football. And we've won it 2 out of the last 3 years.
Yeah, every team, if you look at the roster, is 1-53. Obviously, for Pittsburgh and Cleveland, it comes down to quarterback play that's holding them back. But, yeah, nobody has to face 6 games within their division that are just absolute bloodbaths.
Right.
So, and honestly, that's the only reason that's the only thing that's held the Bengals back, too, is they haven't played well in their division the last couple of years. So, if they can fix that, hell, even in 2022, they were only I think they're 3-3 in the division and lost games they should have won.
Look, honestly, as tough as this division is, I pick them to go 3-3 almost every year. If you go 500 in the division, you're more than likely going to win the division. I think. I mean, because going 4-0 against everybody, or 5-0, however, 6-0. I'll get it right. That would be tremendous. I don't see that actually happen. I don't think anybody can do that in this division. It's just too talented and too good of a team. And we're not even talking about the players. The coaches in this division are really good. We got Stefanski won Coach of the Year. Zach Taylor should have won it at least once this year already. You got Tomlinson, who's won a Super Bowl, which I honestly think he gets a little bit too much credit, but he's never had a losing season. Just the coaches, and go by the coaches alone, this AFC North is better than everybody else's.
Yeah, exactly. I which is funny, and we'll get into it here when we get into the rankings. That Zach Taylor is the only one who's been in a Super Bowl in the past. When were the Ravens last in a Super Bowl? Was that 2012? 2012.
It was
the only team in the Super Bowl or the only team in the division that's been in a Super Bowl, and yet he's the lowest rated coach per CBS's rankings. I'm like, what are we doing? Yeah, why are we overthinking this?
Well, and the thing is, I think Tomlinson is a really good coach. I do. But is he that good? Because he hasn't. When was the last time the Steelers won a playoff game? I mean, it's been 6 years? 8 years. 8 years. Sorry, that's Marvin Lewis-esque. Yeah. That's Marvin Lewis. I mean, that's what in the last 8 years. That's what he's done. He's been Marvin Lewis. And Marvin Lewis, I think, is a really good coach. I don't think Marvin could get us over the top. Maybe Tomlinson is getting to the point where he can't get them over the top. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And you can't sit there and say, well, they've had bad quarterback play. They had freaking Ben Roethlisberger, who we all hate.
Right.
He was the quarterback for most of those 8 years.
Right. I mean, he's a Hall of Fame level quarterback.
He sucks. I don't like him, but yeah.
He's a woman abusing piece of shit. But
yeah, but other than that, he played football.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the let's talk quarterback here. What about running backs here? With our new running backs here, we got Zach Moss and we got Chase Brown, Travion Williams, and Chris Evans. Right now, that's all that's on the roster. Which you could also go put Drew Sample in there, maybe because he'll be H-back sometimes. But those are the running back room. Now, if you go with addition by subtraction, is what I've said, and I love Joe Mixon. This is no Joe Mixon hate. I've said this every time I talk about Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon is one of my favorite players. I think he's going to excel in Houston. I think that offense is fit more for what he can do. We need pass blocking running backs in here who can catch the ball out of the backfield and make things happen. Then that's exactly what Zach Moss does.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we were looking to rank them as a room, probably middle of the pack because they don't have a proven workhorse. But yeah, the room is upgraded.
Who is the workhorse? Like, is there? You can't say Nick Chubb because he's coming off a knee injury. In the division, compared to, I mean, who's the Ravens' number one running back? There is no number one.
Derrick Henry. Have you heard of that guy?
Oh, I forgot the goddamn. Yes. See, look. See, all right. The thing with Eric, he's talking about Derrick Henry.
He's also old.
Old, yeah. That's where I'm like, again, you got to see what happens.
Yeah.
They don't have. All right, put it this way: nobody has a running back coming back going, "Oh my God, this guy did this for this team last year." That's in the division. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I would. To be honest, though, I would put the Bengals fourth in terms of running back rooms because the Steelers they have a good proven combo with Jalen Warren and Najee Harris. I don't think Najee Harris is exceptionally good, but they're good as a group. Browns have good depth. Nick Chubb, this is his second bad knee injury, but the guy was top three running back in the NFL.
Yeah. He's a phenomenal running back.
You can expect him to take a small step back, but still expect that he's going to be a really good running back. And Derrick Henry, he's old, like I just said, but his numbers are still really good. And you expect that age-related decline because, running backs, they don't do this. They literally
drop. Yeah.
But
the thing is, with me...
Maybe he's Adrian Peterson, and that happens when he's 34 or 35 instead of... Right. He's already past the drop-off where most people hit at age 27.
The thing is, the Ravens, custom my own show, the Ratbirds, I'm giving these guys credit because I'm trying to be as even as I can here. I think they're going to use Derrick Henry the right way. I think they're giving him less carries, which it's going to be interesting. I think they're giving him less carries. I think he's going to be more like red zone, short yardage, stuff like that. But will he be able to handle that? Because some running backs, like Corey said this on my show, feed me, give me the ball, I need to get in rhythm. I don't know if the Ratbirds are going to do that with Derrick Henry because of his age. And maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe they'll just feed him, 100% of the time, and he'll be the Derrick Henry that was in Tennessee the last couple of years. I don't know. It's very on teetering on that like I said, that cliff. Like you just said, that cliff. They don't just decline, they drop.
Yeah. It'll be curious because they still have pretty decent talent there. Keaton Mitchell, I like that guy coming out a lot. Coming out of, I think was he ECU?
Yeah. Wait.
Okay.
ECU?
Yeah. Keaton Mitchell was East Carolina, tiny, little guy.
Yes.
But I think a really good player. They still have Justice Hill, who's a decent depth room running back. They haven't had that bell cow guy since Ray Rice, so I don't know if that's. I don't know what
does.
Right. Christian McCaffrey is going to be in there for 85% of the snaps. But that would have happened. Derrick Henry was going to lose snaps this year to more of a share with, even if he stayed in Tennessee with Tyjae Spears. So we'll see. But again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because as much as we hate Baltimore, they're a great organization.
Oh yeah,
they're going to do what's best for the football team, and players buy in. So
I hate them, but I do respect them. They are a very well run organization, and for years I was wanting the Bengals to get more like them and the Steelers. And
a lot of jealousy. Absolutely.
But lately here we've been getting closer to them as far as how we're running organization. So the Bengals running backs, like I said. At fourth, I can see it. I wouldn't say that we have the best running back room. I'm saying for our team, I think these two fit better than Joe Mixon does. I think it's going to be more explosive plays. And this is what I said last year. We needed more explosive plays out of the running backs. It's not necessarily because everybody comes on here. You got to run the ball. You do. They're never going to run the ball as much as everybody out there wants them to run the ball. They're not. We got Joe Burrow.
I'll be honest. I don't want them to run the ball. Their best players are Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Right.
Run the ball when you want to. Throw the ball the rest of the time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's getting more of the explosive plays out of it, which is what I was hoping we'd get last year, and it didn't really happen. But if you look at Zach Moss's stats for the first 6 games of the year, I think that's before Taylor came back.
Yeah, when he was covering for Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, he was a number one. Those are number one running back numbers. Yeah. So everybody keeps going, this could be running back by committee. I think it's going to be, but if Zach Moss goes out and tears it up like he did at the beginning of last year, and he can do that throughout the whole year, Chase Brown's still going to get his carries, but it might be Zach Moss's be the number one spot to lose.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see. I would like it to be I don't say go with the hot hand because I want both guys to get a fair amount of reps, but I want there to be a pretty decent share, at least in terms of the full season split, because they do different things. Zach Moss is a perfect fit for a shotgun running attack.
Yep.
give him the ball, and he goes straight through the hole. He's small, like he's 5'9", 200 pounds. Now, granted, he's really, really solid 200 pounds, but he's just going to just blast right through the hole. Whereas Chase Brown has that speed to get around the edge, and if you can get him into the top gear, there are very few people
22 miles an hour.
Yeah, there are very few people in the NFL that can keep up with that speed.
And one thing Zach Moss can do better than Joe Mixon can do is pass block.
You and I could pass block better because we would actually try.
Needless to say, he's a very good pass blocker. I mean, I mean, so that's the other thing is where to me that's going to help the offense. You're going to have a running back because you're not going to change it out to put Drew Sample in there to pass block. You can leave Zach in there, and that just hides it a little better of what they're actually going to do. And the more you can hide what you're going to do, the better. So Zach Moss being a very good pass blocker is an upgrade right there. So that's where, in general, my opinion is the Bengals have upgraded their running back room by scheme, by the players, by what their ability is. Nothing against Joe Mixon, if that makes sense.
Their talent or their traits fit what the Bengals want to do better.
Right. Exactly. All right, so next one, we're going wide receivers. And, again, I've said this, I think it's an addition by subtraction. I love Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd was just a slot. So we always had, like we were talking about his show yesterday, we always had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase out wide and Tyler Boyd in the middle. Now, you can put Gesicki. He can go out wide. You can put him in the slot. You can put him at tight end. You can put Jamar in the slot, which I would love to see Jamar in the slot a lot. T. Higgins can go in the slot. You put Jamar in the backfield. You got Burton, who he can go wide. I think he can play some slot too. There's a lot of different moving parts that they can do with this wide receiver room to confuse people than they've been able to do in the past.
Yeah, part of it, I hate saying this because he's going to go down as one of the best wide receivers in team history with Tyler Boyd. Mm-hmm. I think just on ability, they improved. He looked washed.
Yeah, he looked
by and large.
I hate to say it. I love Tyler Boyd. I do it, but it looked like
the drops that he had were just bad. Concentration lapse, and he struggled. Like he's never been great getting open man to man. He could not get open man to man.
But he could catch the ball in tight windows. That's what.
When he finds a soft spot in the zone on third downs, I mean he's automatic. But if he has to, like, if he's got a cornerback lined up on him playing physical right off the line of scrimmage, he's not getting open. You have to throw him open.
You're talking about last year or in general?
Last year specifically,
right.
And again, maybe there's something going on, or maybe he's just old because he's not old. He's
not my age old.
He's not. Yeah, he's not ancient like you, but I mean, he's not a young man. For in NFL years, I mean, he's 29 and a half right now. So
now watch Tyler Boyd be watching this. Like, all right, I got you. We'll see. There's levels to this shit, and he'll go out and have a great year in Tennessee, which I hope he does. I really do.
I mean, good for him. I mean, that's going to be a terrible team to watch. So I mean, he's going to have it's going to be opportunities. That's not a very talented wide receiver room.
No. And like I mentioned Gesicki in the wide receiver. He's a tight end, but he's more of a wide receiver. I mean, he's listed as tight end. He
doesn't block.
No, he does not block. No, he does not block.
Ask him to block for the pass block for a reason.
Well, that's the thing. What you talked on your show yesterday, 12 personnel. I think we're going to see that a lot more this year. You have Drew Sample in there and Gesicki in there, or one of the rookies in there who can actually catch the ball too, and block. I mean, it's going to be very interesting. Because, like I said, minicamp, there were some reports that they had Gesicki out wide, which I was surprised. I thought he might play some slot and tight end. I didn't think they actually put him out wide, but that's an interesting thing. He's got the speed and he can catch the ball. He's athletic as hell.
Well, think of the mismatch if he's lined up outside, especially on a third down. He's going to be lined up, and even if it's a bigger, even if it's a bigger cornerback that's covering him, if they don't switch a safety on him, he's huge. Yeah, he's just going to pluck the ball off the top of their, pluck the ball up out of the air over top of him. He has amazing hands. He's not great he's actually pretty weak after the catch, but he has amazing hands. He can run crisp routes, and you put him somewhere where he's either got a size mismatch or a speed mismatch, guaranteed first down.
And he does the worst gritty ever.
It was embarrassing.
It's awful.
I really feel bad for his family for that.
And the other thing is we're not even talking about Yoshivas. And I really do think, just from everything I've heard, that Troy Walters gave him a list of things to work on in the offseason, and he checked everything off the box when he showed up at minicamp. So,
well, yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say he and Chase Brown worked with the same wide receiver coach in Atlanta in the offseason. And the coach is not one that was prone to hyperbole and said that these guys made leaps and improved by leaps and bounds. And these were guys that were productive as rookies who were raw as hell. And we know all the physical traits that Yosef has in terms of his size, his speed, and his strength. And if he can be a crisp route runner and learn how to catch the ball properly in terms of when, hand placement and catching it out in front instead of with your, and the nuanced things that separates a good receiver from a great receiver. If he has learned those things, like, I don't know. It's almost a matter of like, there are too many dudes and not enough spots. Yeah, they can run 12 personnel and have whoever as an inline tight end, Mike Gesicki outside, and then Chase and Higgins wherever in the slot or on the other outside spot. But where are you going to put Jermaine Burton? Where are you going to put where are you going to put Yoshi? Where are you going to put Chuck Sizzle, who still has ability? I would love to see split running backs. I'd love to see some packages with both running backs out there at the same time. Just something to give a different look and something that just isn't a dead giveaway. The Bengals have been, and this is we got when we got into our like when we were talking last year towards the end of the year when Callahan was looking to leave. Bengals are incredibly predictable. When they run out their formations, you knew they were going to run the ball. You knew they were going to pass the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. The only time that you didn't, and I keep bringing this game up against the Sucky Niners.
Yeah.
That game they had nobody. They had no the 49ers, Sucky Niners never knew what we were doing that whole game.
And what did they do more? They ran a lot out of
under center.
Under center.
Yep.
And that's again, I'm fine with them running primarily out of shotgun because Burrow, you want your quarterback to be the most comfortable doing what he wants to do, but he can still be a very effective and fantastic quarterback under center, but just be more varied so that you can run so many different plays. You can run the same play under center, like run the same routes under center versus shotgun, but it has a completely different look.
And the thing is, like what I'm curious about, like you said, and Yumi got into it last year, how predictable the Bengals offense was. This year, there's no reason for them to be predictable because they have so many guys. They got more guys than they got spots.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's where I want pitcher to have fun with this. I mean, remember when it wasn't Greg Kowski. Who was that? Hugh Jackson. He split out offensive tackles out wide, which I'm not saying do that.
Yeah, keep three down linemen and then put the tackles split way out right next to the outside receivers.
I'm not necessarily saying do that, but have fun with this because you've got so many different options that you could just sit there and just go, just think a whole bunch of different crazy ass plays, and we can probably pull them off. That's the talent we have in this, and that's where I've said, and I started saying this is the most talent we had on this offense before. It's the most not interactive. Not what's the word I'm working for? Not interactive, but
varied. The most versatile.
Versatile. Thank you. Most versatile talent-wise we've had, as far as how many guys can play different things. You can put them in different positions. That you could do, a variance of the same play 5 different ways because the guy with different players they can play the same position, but it could be you put T. Higgins in this spot and Chase over here and you won't lose a step. It's just you can create matchups, and that's what the whole thing you need to do is create the best matchup. And if you do this right, I don't think there's a team that can match up with us consistently, to be honest.
Yeah. And a formation that I would love to see, and again, I'm not an offensive coordinator. I never played a down of organized football. Could you imagine the Bengals come out, no running backs, 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, and have Chase lined up in the backfield?
That would be awesome. I'd take it.
Because you can hand the ball off to him like a running back.
Yeah,
because he can, the way that he runs the ball, like you're not going to obviously get the nuances and everything, but just having line up out there, you can motion him out or whatever. He's going to get a free release. And what, are they going to put a linebacker on him?
And he's not easy to tackle. His fucking thighs are this big.
Yeah.
They're as big as a running back.
Yeah, exactly. His lower body strength. I mean, the guy's incredibly strong, like all over. And they said he's one of the pound for pound, one of the strongest players they've ever had in the system. But I love that they can, like, they're not pigeonholed. They can do pretty much whatever the hell they want to with this offense, whatever they want to be. Outside of running like a triple option offense, which I don't think they're going to revert to that. But,
no, I don't want to do that.
No.
But that's where I'm really excited. So if you compare our wide receiver room just in general with the rest of the AFC North, I don't think anybody can touch us.
No. Even without Tyler Boyd, even without T. Higgins, never playing a full season, that's what's holding back, especially, literally every other team. I guess the Browns have a decent. I mean, wide receiver room.
They probably got the second best. Them or the Squealers probably got.
The Steelers have the worst. Steelers is terrible.
Well, I got Pickett. Pickett, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, George Pickens is fine. Like he's a mere
You're right.
But
yeah, you're right. They got him. That's really that's probably the Browns. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Browns are probably top 15 in the NFL. Ravens are a little behind that because they don't have a legit number one. Zay Flowers is like 3'2". Steelers wide receivers are god awful. Like they're just a bunch of nobodies that are lined up, on their depth chart outside of George Pickens. So yeah, Bengals are clearly. I mean, they still have one of the top.
We got top
5-7 wide receiver groups just off of having one of the top 2 or 3 wide receivers in the NFL and a 1B in T. Higgins.
Yeah, I mean, we got one of the top. I place top 5 farthest receiving rooms in the total NFL.
Yeah,
I mean, at least top 5. I mean, I'd have to really sit down and break down every NFL team, and I didn't do that. This is just my personal opinion that I think we're there. All right, so excuse. So that next that brings me to the offensive line, and we talked about this last year. That I thought last year was the best offensive line Jackpot has ever had. Scratch that. This year, I think it's the best offensive line he's ever had. And there's 2 things. Trent Brown, I think, is a great addition. Biggest one is getting Mims because Trent Brown, I am not sold that he will be healthy for the entire year. That's why all these people that keep saying let's move Mims in the guard, just pump the brakes on that because Trent Brown has not been healthy for the last 4 years. He's a very good right tackle. I'm glad we signed him, but there's a very good chance that Mims is going to play at some point this year at right tackle because Trent Brown is going to get hurt. So with that being said, you're taking Trent Brown, who's a really good right tackle, and I think you're replacing him with a really good, young, more athletic right tackle. And you got him and Orlando Brown. You got 3 guys that are 6'8". So I've said it's a Cincinnati skyline. It's one of the biggest offensive lines around. Plus, I look, everybody keeps getting on Cordell Volson. The man was a 6th-round pick, I think, if I'm right on that. He came out of North Dakota State, Division II, 4th round. Give the man a break. All right, he's actually playing pretty good for the competition he came from, and he's done nothing but improve. So that's where people come out and say you should move Mims there. Don't move Mims. Leave that right tackle. I think this offensive line, because you have everybody in the same spots except for one, and it's the right tackle. We're not moving somebody from right side to left side this year. We're not having a new center. We're not having a new guard. Like Orlando Brown, Volson, Ted Karras, and I can't think of the left guard. Kappa. Those guys have been playing together for a full year. The 3 of them have been playing together for the last 3 years. Yeah. That is what you want. You want cohesiveness, and we're getting closer and closer to that. So I think our offensive line is really going to shine this year.
I think the floor for the offensive line is higher than it's ever been because, again, they have – I forgot about Roman Wilson. Yep. Because they have Amarius Mims there for injuries. Yeah. If anything happens to Orlando Brown, Trent Brown goes to the other side and Mims fits in. If something happens to Trent Brown, then Mims comes and steps in. And, again, Mims is in terms of tape and physical ability, he's a top 5 pick. Right. Literally the only reason – that he fell to the Bengals is because he just didn't have a lot of tape.
Right.
He only had 8 starts. Again, his ability and his tape, what he did when he was on the field, amazing.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Like that's what you're getting in him again. And I agree. T. Brookie has a good point about.
I was about to bring
coaching about the offensive line. That, yeah, I have zero Bengals trust Frank Pollock. I don't trust him any more than I could throw his big ol' ass. Like he talks all about glass eaters. I don't give a shit about glass eaters. Give me 5 guys that can keep your quarterback upright and can open up holes in the running game. I don't. You can use whatever or having shit in their net. Whatever. What is that like? That sounds disgusting. But like all these stupid terms and phrases that he has, like I don't give a shit like what their personality is or what can they keep the quarterback up? Can they handle a stunt? Can they keep Myles Garrett from being around Joe Burrow more than his fiance?
Right.
So like,
I'll put it to you this way: this is a make or break year for Frank Pollock. I think.
Oh, he's fired. He's fired if the offensive line struggles. He should be fired mid-season if the offensive line struggles.
Yes, if the offensive line struggles, yes, they should move on from him because last year the offensive line was okay. Orlando Brown. They
were up and down. They had games where they were dominant. They had games to where it was the same shit that we've been seeing since 2016.
That's the stuff that's got to stop. That's where they have to be. That's where I'm like. There's no more excuses. They have, like I said, the 3 guys in the middle have been there for this 3rd year together. Orlando Brown was with them last year. They're adding a right tackle. You have the most cohesive offensive line that Joe Burrow has had since he's been here, as far as guys playing together for a while. There's no excuse for the offensive line to not be consistent, and that's all we need. I mean, I would love them to be dominant, but just be consistently good, not consistently bad, consistently good. And you don't need to give Joe Burrow a ton of time, but give him enough, and don't let him get hit. Now, it also comes down to, I think Joe has to be smarter with the football. I think he has to get rid of it faster and not try to take some of these hits that he takes. Because some of these are on Joe. He tries to make plays and stuff, and that's where, to me, I'm hoping Joe gets a little smarter. Just throw the ball away, come back for another down. Those are things that Joe hopefully is figuring out. Because I'm going back to his statement he said where with Jake Browning emerging last year, he doesn't feel the pressure where he has to take every single snap. Because if I don't, if I got a little twinge here or there, it's okay. I'll let Jake take these reps or whatever. That's where I'm hoping that comes into his mindset where, I could run for this, and I could probably dive for this first down, and I could get hit in the head, or I could slide and come up short, and then we come back and try again on the next down, or punt it, because punting isn't always a bad thing. Yeah. You punt the ball and you get good field position. That's not a bad thing. Which hopefully we'll have a really good punter this year, which we'll get to that in a minute. Yeah. But offensive line, it's got to be consistent this year. I think.
Well, and Joe's even said that, especially if they're in like the low red zone, somewhere where a field goal is so much the gimme, he will gladly take a sack. He'll hold on to the ball that extra, the extra couple tenths of a second, trying to get someone open for that reason. But like that, no, man, you have in the NFL, your career is finite. I mean, in life, your career is finite, but NFL, those careers are so short, and one wrong hit could end it all.
Right.
Some catastrophic injury you can't come back from. So just be smarter, man. Just throw it away, because again, if it's going to be if it's a 3rd down play, what does an incomplete pass do versus a sack?
Right.
It doesn't matter. You're still kicking a field goal, and you're not getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, and I didn't like it that Joe said. I don't remember when he said this, but he doesn't mind sacks. I do. I don't want you to
I get he's looking at it, trying to look at it as, I don't want to say a tough guy, but like, you're going to get hit, whatever, brush it off.
I think he'd rather get sacked to hang on to the ball than try to throw it somewhere.
Force it in.
Force it in, which I understand that.
Right.
I understand ones where you get sacked where there's nowhere to go with the ball.
Clock it at someone's feet or throw it out of bounds.
Right. Yeah, get rid of it. Throw it at Zach Taylor.
Right,
see if he can catch the ball. I mean, those are things that I'm hoping Joe does a little better this year.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings us to me, the biggest problem, other than Joe Burrow being hurt last year, was the defense.
You're skipping the tight end room.
Oh, my bad. You're right. I did. I got it right down here. My bad. Let's go to the tight end, which, honestly, I'll start this. This is the best tight end room that Joe Burrow has ever had, which I find interesting because last year it was one of the best tight end drafts ever. We didn't draft one single tight end. Yeah. So is this a change? Is this a pitcher? Damn pitcher. Is this a change for him? Is this him saying, hey, we need to upgrade this because we got Gesicki, who I would have loved to gotten Gesicki last year or 2 years ago, and then we went out and drafted 2 other guys. That I was shocked that we drafted them. Do you think this is Dan Pitcher putting his stamp on this offense right now?
I think it's more of them just trying to solve the problem of having to look for fill in year after year after year. Because again, they've gone.
Why didn't they do that before?
Right.
Yeah.
I am not disagreeing with you at all. I was pissed last year when they came out of the deepest tight end draft ever. You could have gotten guys in the 5th, 6th round that some of these guys made big impacts last year as rookies. But I mean, you went from C.J. Uzomah to 1 year of Hayden Hurst to 1 year of
Irv Smith.
A gaping hole for half of the season, and now and then they signed Gesicki, and I think it's more. If they wanted a top-notch tight end, they would have drafted one. I don't think Burrow cares too much, but I think it's them just like it's tiresome having to go look for one year after year after year, and trying to find one that fits your system. Let's draft a couple of guys. Hope either Eric All or Tanner McLaughlin, one of them, can be a long-term solution, and line them up, in a room with Drew Sample for another 4 years, and boom, you're good to go.
If Alt is healthy, he has a very, very high ceiling. If he gets healthy, I mean, and people are talking about his back. His back injury was 2 years ago, so that I'm not as concerned about. I'm more concerned about his knee injury this year. That's what hurt. He got hurt this year. He's the one that I won't say expectations, but I am the most excited to see what he can do, because I think he has a very good chance to, not this year because Gesicki's going to be the number one guy, but he could be our future number one tight end moving forward as long as he can stay healthy and get back to where he was in college when he was healthy. He was a pretty damn good tight end when he was in college.
Yeah, I was calling for Eric All the entire draft run-up season, knowing that he'd be going somewhere in the middle to late in the draft, and fitting in a good spot where the Bengals, I would figure the Bengals would probably be looking. So when they drafted him, I was happy as shit. First off, that, hey, I was right again. Anytime I can be proven right, I'm golden. But also, they get a guy that he's a physical freak. Again, the problem is the injuries. Mm-hmm. But to get a guy in the 4th round that has those physical attributes and has the tape. I mean, the guy was the best tight end in college football a couple years ago, or one of the best tight ends in college football when he was in Michigan. Mm-hmm. To have that guy with the tape and the measurables at that spot in the draft, absolutely. I'm cool with that. And Tanner McLaughlin is the only issue with Tanner McLaughlin is Tanner McLaughlin's old.
Yeah.
He is
20.
He's 25 already.
25, yeah.
As someone coming in, I mean, that's older than Jamar Chase.
I mean, Burrow was 25 when he came in, or 24 or so.
Yeah, but I mean, that's even old. Burrow also transferred schools and didn't have to sit out. Had to sit out a year back in the transfer portal days. Yeah,
exactly. So then we're not talking about.
And Burrow was 23. He's in his 5th year, and he's only 27 and a half.
There's 23. Oh, I thought he's 24.
Yeah.
All right, I was off by a year. But we're not talking about the diamond in the rough that we found last year, Tanner Hudson, who I remember telling you. I called you when I was walking back from the bridge. I'm like, I don't know who this 87 is, but he looks pretty damn good.
And he looked good through exhibition games, preseason games too. And what's funny, he's going to be a special teamer this year. He's back in the room, which tells
he's done the back of the room. But I mean, that's how it tells you how deep this room is.
Right. But that also tells you how terrible the room was last year. That someone who is back of the room for a team that doesn't stress tight ends, that he was their saving grace the second half of the season. Right.
But I'm to me, I look at it this way. I guess I'm looking at the orange-colored sunglasses. He was very productive last year, and he's
absolutely
back. He's back in the room. That's how talented this room is. It went from basically nothing to top 15 room and maybe top 20. Put it that way, because we don't know what's working.
Somewhere in the top 32. I'll definitely give you that.
Thanks. That narrows it down. But so I'm very happy with tight end room. And if you compare that to the rest of the AFC North, I'm trying to think of top. Well,
Ravens have a really good room.
Ravens they're number one in tight end. That's
Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, and Charlie Collar.
Yeah, those are all the ones that Lamar likes to throw to as tight ends. And the Browns they have a pretty good tight end room. At least that
David Njoku is probably the
Njoku,
most athletic. I mean, tight end.
So I mean, probably honestly, we probably have it's probably fourth best room in our division as right now.
I think they're better than the Steelers. I like Pat Freiermuth. I think he's a useful player. Darnell Washington is massive, but he didn't play well last year as a rookie.
Don't tell Pork Chop that. Pork Chop loved Darnell Washington.
I mean, I would have been cool if they would have drafted him. I think it was overboard. People were like, oh, draft him and turn him into a tackle, or put him on the field and he'd be another tackle. No, his run blocking grades were brutal. I looked at the numbers because we did an episode just going over each team in the division earlier within the past month, and he played really poorly. Pass block, run block, everything. So.
Yeah, so I mean, all right, so we'll put our Bengals room above the Squealers. So we're third in the in the division. So,
but fine, considering where how the team was.
They were last year, so they moved.
There was some CFL teams that had better talent.
Probably. Kripke got a question here about the offensive line coach. Gentlemen, better O-line coach, Paul Alexander or Frank Pollock? Really? Go, LOL. Paul Alexander. That's pretty easy.
May probably, but I don't know.
Oh, Pork Chop says Darnell Washington's dead to me. Oh, okay. You gave up on your boy already?
No, that's Dwayne Haskins. He's dead to everyone.
Oh, God, that's
too soon.
Wow. Wow. That was bad. God, that was bad. Moving on. So we did the tight end, we did the offense. We go to the defensive side of the ball.
His favorite Jimi Hendrix song is Crosstown Traffic.
Oh, God. Once you get going, you can't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Defense, Joe. We're talking defense here.
There's no defense against the semi. I'm out of here. Good night, folks. Tip your waitress. Try the veal.
Yeah, I try. I try to keep the show on track, and everybody it always goes off the rails. Always. Oh my God. Are you done? You got any more you want to get out before I move on?
I'm good.
Okay. Let's see what Chop here says.
I've been everywhere. Oh, wait a minute.
Isn't he also a big fan of Willie Nelson on the road again? Oh my God!
And what was it until you got the spatula?
Judge! Oh, Jesus Christ. God help me. Joe's going to hell. I'm not. It's me. It's not me, Lord.
I embrace it.
Oh, God. All right. So, get back to defense. All I said is, to me, other than Joe Burrow getting hurt, defense was the most disappointing and the biggest reason in my opinion, that we weren't a playoff team last year. So defense was never.
I'm being rained on by God's turning on me right now.
He should turn on you. The defense was not anywhere close to what we thought it would be. Yep. Losing Von Bell and Jesse Bates I knew it was going to be big, but I did not think it would affect us as much as it did because we could not get lined up. I've said this over and over and over again. Yeah. We could not get lined up. And Geno Stone got Von Bell back, lost E.J. Reader, got Chris Jenkins in there, Sheldon Rankins, and McLaughlin from the draft. Dax Hill is going to go from safety to corner. I'm hoping that'll work. I got a good feeling this defense is going to be a lot better last year just because we can line up.
Yeah.
Better, I think.
Also, fewer snaps for Zach Carter because Zach Carter is dumpster fire.
What was that? How many snaps will Zach Carter get? I mean,
how many did he get, or how many will he get?
How many will he get? Will he be in the rotation?
I think he might be on the practice squad.
I'm like, I don't think he'll be. He might be practice squad. I don't think he's in the rotation.
I mean, he got 500 snaps last year, which is disgusting because he was awful.
Well, he had to. They didn't have anybody else. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like the rotation. We got B.J. Hill, Sheldon Rankins, McLaughlin, and Chris Jenkins. I mean, that's your rotation right there.
You know, McKinley Jackson.
Sorry, yeah. That's what I'm not McLaughlin's the tight end. McKinley Jackson. That's your rotation. And I'm not sure how much McKinley Jackson is going to play. I'm hoping he plays very well. But Chris Jenkins is the man. Him and Rankins and B.J. Hill are going to be the three guys that are going to be out there the most, I think.
Yeah, Chris Jenkins, I think, somewhere by midseason is going to be one of the absolute fan favorites. Mm-hmm. The guy's personality, never mind his ability. The guy has this huge, awesome, fun-loving personality. Plus,
Chris,
the fact that he's just a damn good.
Go on my show. Just go on the show sometime.
Plus, the fact the guy's just a physical freak.
Did you see what he did with the dumbbell?
Yeah, the one arm. Yeah, the one arm.
Yeah, that's on Twitter today. He did it with the small curls before. Now he did it with a freaking dumbbell. I'm like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's I can't do that with a baseball bat, or to be able to get pushed and then stand up while he's doing no, I ain't doing that.
Maybe try to do what Bo Hager did and try to do that with a beer.
I mean I could figure I could do that. I think. But yeah, I think the defensive interior is going to have a nice rotation. They've upgraded again. It's about upgrading the floor.
Right.
We know BJ Hill. We like BJ Hill. He's a good player that is better when not overexposed. And I think with Sheldon Rankins there, who's a really good interior pass rusher, that's going to help tremendously.
Hold on a second. Pork Chop's yelling at me. And no, actually, the video he did today, Pork Chop, was with a what would you say? Not dumbbell. Yeah, it's dumbbell. The one he did today. Not a kettlebell. He's done it with the kettlebell, but the one I saw today he did with the dumbbell.
I didn't see the kettlebell.
I've seen both of them. The one, yeah.
Okay.
Go check my Twitter. It's on there. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So anyway, yeah, it definitely brushing the past it. They're gonna have a lot more juice from the interior. Chris Jenkins did a decent job providing interior pass rush. He's known for his run stopping ability, but he can do both. So, and again, Sheldon Rankins is a big time pass rusher from the inside. BJ can do both.
And Rankins is a better run stopper than I think he's given credit for too.
I mean, he can be a 3-down player, but again, we don't have they don't need to have
we don't
guys.
Need to, yeah.
And also, when it's pass rushing situations, you can move guys around. Myles Murphy can play defense, move inside. Sam Hubbard's been going inside for years, but hopefully they can just get Sam Hubbard off the field because he's just not good enough.
Now, you say that he was injured a lot last year, so you got.
I'm just talking about over his career. He's a solid player. He's not a difference maker. He's never been a difference maker. He's good against the run. He provides subpar pass rush ability. You look at every metric in terms of win rate, pressure percentage, and even just pure PFF grade. It's never been very good. He's been overexposed. But
you always come at me with math, and I can't argue that because I don't like me and numbers don't get along. I just go with my eyes.
3 + 2 is that's not taught in the West Side.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you're taught how to make chili and how to open a chili parlor because every friggin' neighborhood has a chili parlor. But yeah.
Well, the West Side's awesome. And we have bars. And we have chicken wings.
Lot of bars, which I'm down with. I like Hail Mary. That was a cool ass place.
That was very cool. I love Hail Marys. But you can't kick Sam inside. You kick Myles Murphy inside. And again, it's kind of like what we're saying with the offense. This defensive line is more versatile. Yeah. And I'm still holding out hope that Joseph Ossai can get back to the way he was in the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs. Not where he had the penalty at the end of the game, but that game he was dominant. I'm just going to take Lou's word for it that he was just hurt last year because he didn't play a whole lot. He didn't get a lot of snaps. So, and I think Myles Murphy's going to take that leap this year. So if you get those two to take a step, or Myles Murphy to take a step, and Joseph Ossai at least get back to where he was, along with everybody else we got, we're going to get some pressure on the quarterback more than I think we've gotten in the past couple of years.
Yeah, again, it's just more guys. It's not that everyone even has to come up with 10, 12 sacks. It just push the pocket. Someone can clean them up or just cause an errant throw, cause the pressure step in someone's face and he throws a pick. It's about just causing havoc. What was the end of the Seahawks game? Bengals just absolutely just obliterated their offensive line. They knew they had to pass, and they couldn't stop. Like literally, it was a meeting at the quarterback for everyone on the defensive line that entire last series.
Exactly. Crip Caper's got a Bearcat question for us. He said, Iceman Joe, before I forget, the godfather of the Bearcats defensive tackle star, is his football dreams finished, or can he come back from this? So I was listening to Dan Horde. He was on Trag's podcast, Jungle Roar podcast. And what Dan Horde said is he's got a blood clot, and they're doing him blood thinners. And Dan feeling is he thinks he'll make it back this year. They got to get the blood clot thinned out, get him ready to go. He doesn't think he'll be ready for the beginning of the season. I thought at first he was done for the year, but according to Dan Horde, he thinks he's going to be back sometime during the season, which would be great news because he turned down a hell of a lot of money to leave UC, and he stayed here. Or he could have went to the draft and made some money there, and he didn't. He stayed here. So for his sake and loyalty, I hope it comes out better and he can play this year.
Yeah, I coming from someone here who's had blood clots in their lungs before, it's scary as shit. That's what my dad died from, and found out after knee surgery I developed blood clots that broke off that went to my lungs. So it's something you don't fuck around with.
Right.
But yeah, he's already working out. Like this was something that was diagnosed. He's back working out with a team.
That is back like early, like in the spring.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that was caught. You go on blood thinners, you get, and God, just since in 11 years since I had my issues, the medication has come leaps and bounds. You don't have to go to some clinic every week to check the viscosity of your blood and dumb shit like that. But you take care of it, you treat it, and you just you play smart. I mean, if you're a football player, you have trainers and doctors like literally all over the place. And you just, anytime you feel something, like, get it taken care of, but he'll be back. I absolutely think there was someone else, and I was trying to find it real quickly. Another player in the Big 12 that had blood clots before last season and ended up playing a bulk of the season. So I was trying to figure out who it was, but they were in contact. Scott Satterfield said he was in contact with the other coach and player. And I can't find who it was, but it was someone at one of the other Big 12 schools.
There you go. So yeah, I mean, well, I guess. Pork Chop has bad news. He said, Joe, my dad died after a pulmonary embolism from knee surgery.
That's what mine was. I had knee surgery, and I developed blood clots that turned into I had 2 pulmonary embolisms, and that's my dad died from pulmonary embolism. So believe me, it's scary as shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Pork Chop. I believe me. I'm sorry that happened to your dad, but yeah, it's incredibly dangerous if it doesn't get to if you don't catch it. But luckily, they caught it, and it's he should be okay to go.
He should be good. All right, Dusty Croft here. Guys, I have an interesting question. So with guaranteed contracts continuing to get larger, do you think the Bengals family-owned business will be able to compete in the future? Sponsorships only count.
Well, and then he goes, he's got the next one, the next one that continues. So
goes so far, I work in tech, and it feels like we are a small, scrappy upstart, up-and-coming competitor with the big money companies. Look, I'll put it to you this way. The NFL just gave the Bengals a whole bunch of money to do improvements to their stadium that the Bengals have to pay back, which they all put into this profit. That being said, with the sponsorship, the upgrades that they're going to do to the stadium and everything, and with Joe Burrow here and the money that he's going to bring in, yes, and with the salary cap and everything, yes, we're going to have the money to keep up with everybody else.
Well, the problem is, and the point that he's making is with guaranteed contracts, you have to have like that, whatever is guaranteed. So however much of Burrow's contract was guaranteed, wasn't like 180, 190 million, something stupid like that. Yeah. You have to have $190 million sitting in the bank to cover that. Same thing for all your guaranteed contracts. All of that money needs to be in escrow in an account. Yeah, well, honestly, whereas the Bengals don't have the cash on hand that these bigger teams do. I get the point, but
I don't think I don't think the NFL is going to keep doing these guaranteed contracts. I'll put it to you that way.
I think guaranteed contracts aren't going away. I think having to have the cash on hand is going to go away because of the amount of money that the league generates year after year. That money is there. It's just why does everything have to be like Burrow's contract? How long is his contract guaranteed until?
That I don't know.
I'll pull it up while I'm talking here, but I've got Spot Track on a open tab. So, but why does that money need to be there? And obviously, the money goes down year after year as it breaks down. But so his contract's guaranteed through 2029. So why does all that money for the next 6 seasons need to be in an account? Like, is just something going to happen immediately and the NFL, and they're just going to be insolvent? No, that's not happening.
I'll put it to you this way: not even Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones is not going to want to have all this money sitting there and not be able to do anything with it.
That's what I think is going to change how the finances get taken care of. Because I honestly, NFL needs to be guaranteed. Like every contract needs to be guaranteed. What's the point of signing your name to a paper if you can just rip it up?
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's been the NFL for years.
Well, yeah, but especially in the NFL where injuries, and I get like fix something so your salary cap isn't sunk if someone gets hurt and you have to, release them. But I mean,
there's only one fully guaranteed contract, and I think that's still going to be an outlier. I don't think the NFL
for the Bengals or for
in the NFL, there's only one fully guaranteed contract. That's Deshaun Watson. That's it. He's the only one that's fully guaranteed.
But the problem is more and more players, and that's
the guaranteed money is like
the money is going up and up, which is fine. I have no problem with it.
No, I don't have a problem with it. But to me, the guaranteed money is more like the signing bonus. You had to give up all the money up front for the signing bonus. Now you can give them the guaranteed money, but you have to put it in escrow, which I agree with you. I don't understand why they have to do that, and hopefully that'll change because, like I said, I don't think the owners are going to want their money just sitting there and they can't do anything with it.
That's what that'll help out because again, I don't think anyone is dumb enough to think that teams are going to all of a sudden become insolvent. Like the NFL is absolute cash cow. Teams aren't having to pay for their own stadiums, which I think is fucking horseshit. This is a multi right, exactly, multi-billion-dollar company. Why is my tax money building them a fucking office?
A lot of them are getting built not from tax money. I mean,
well, they're using but they're using public funds. A lot of them, like they're using public funds. Now there are some that are privately built, and good on them. But there's still, I mean, how much money did the state of New York pledge to Buffalo to keep the Bills there? I think it was $1 billion. Now you're almost up, dude.
I don't know, maybe.
And that's like, there's better. Again, I don't know. I love my sports, but I hate corporate welfare to pay for a game. I don't get it.
Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to go, I think. And
it's America.
I don't know if there's anything we can do about it. Yeah. All right, so real quick, let's get to we're right at 6:30. We just started the defense. All right, we did the defense line. Let's go with cornerbacks. Now, this to me is the most concerning part of the defense for me. I'm good with Juice. Yeah. I'm good with Mike Hilton. Dax Hill, I think, has the potential to be a very good cornerback, athletically, speed-wise, everything. He's never done it before. And then you got DJ Ivey and oh crap, who's the other one? I can't think of his name.
DJ Turner.
DJ Turner.
Juan Drago.
Juan Drago. That's a better way to say it. They're in their second year, so you don't have a lot of experience over there.
And then Josh Newton, I think is going to be
and Josh Newton
got to TCU. I like him a lot
which he's a rookie. So again, not a lot of guys with a lot of experience. So that's the part that is scary to me is we're going to have a guy who's never really played consistently in the NFL in Dax Hill, or have a rookie, or we're going to have two guys that are in their second year. So the experience-wise there, that does concern me. That's why I'm hoping they'll at least get another veteran cornerback, probably when training camp starts or something like that, at least to put in that room to at least help these guys. What's your thoughts?
I don't know. It's a crowded room. There's a lot of talent. It's just, again, there's a lot of high draft picks in that room. DJ Turner was a second rounder. Cam Taylor-Britt was a second rounder.
I'm not saying they're not talented. It's just they're not experienced. And
who's going to be available? That's going to be an upgrade. Maybe someone like Eli Apple or something.
I'm not saying upgrade. I'm not saying that at all. Just somebody else in that room. Which I know you got to probably get rid of somebody. Which maybe you do, maybe you don't. Maybe they can work something out. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying experience-wise, it'd be nice to have another veteran in there. That's all I'm saying. I mean, talent-wise, I think they're all really good, and Bengals might go with it. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, I really do think that Juice, if he stays healthy this year, he can be a Pro Bowler this year. I think he was going to be one last year until he got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's got all the ability. I mean, I love the fact that all of these guys are physical. Mm-hmm. There's no, I mean, Drake Kirkpatrick was not a physical cornerback. Like he was not a guy who was a great against run. Run defense, stuff like that. All these guys, they'll hit you hard. Even the smallest cornerback, Mike Hilton, who's literally the size of my son upstairs, and absolutely lays out horses like Derrick Henry and Josh Allen.
Yes, I love Mike Hilton. Do you think they re-sign Mike Hilton, or do you think they'll let him walk?
I don't know. I think it really depends on how, because his 2022 was not very good, and he started the season really rough.
He got better as the season went along.
Yeah, as the season came on, and he's 18th rated cornerback out of 127 per PFF. His final numbers look great, and he looked fantastic at the end of the year. So I wonder if there was maybe something nagging early in the season that that made him struggle a little bit. But he was one of the few guys out there, especially at the end of the year, one of the few guys in the back in the defensive secondary that was actually out there making plays.
And to me, the guy who's could be his backup is Dax Hill. I could totally see Dax Hill being a slot corner.
Yeah, maybe.
I think that might be his future position.
Let me answer this about that. I think the strength or weakness of the cornerbacks depends on how good the safeties are.
And how much pressure we get on the quarterbacks too.
Yeah,
that'll help too. If we get more pressure on the quarterback, that's gonna help the secondary. So it all is cohesive. But yes, the secondary. So let's get to the safeties. Von Bell being back is huge.
Yeah.
Are you in the? We all know. I think we all agree. Geno Stone's going to start.
Yeah.
Do you think Von Bell is penciled in right now, and Battle has a chance to win, or how do you think that's going to be? Who do you think's going to start next to Geno Stone?
I honestly have no idea because again, Jordan Battle. We talked about this yesterday on my show. Jordan Battle was fantastic.
Yes, really good.
He was the 8th rated safety out of 95 in the entire NFL. And I mean, the guy was great in coverage. The guy was great against the run. He's an incredibly intelligent player. And then you have Von Bell, who's there that has just a wealth of information, a wealth of experience. And he's not that top end. I mean, he was middle, like a little towards the back in terms of play. But I could see them almost deferring to him, at least starting the season out. Bengals don't play, especially if Dax Hill is a cornerback, they're not playing 3 safety sets. So it's only going to be Geno Stone and one of these other guys. I don't know who it's going to be. I would like it to be Jordan Battle and have Von Bell there for your safety net because I think Battle can play either spot. Von Bell is pretty much primarily just a strong safety. I don't think he's able to be that deep center fielder anymore.
This is what I think, and Jordan Battle can change Lou's mind. I really do think right now Lou was so frustrated with the way things went last year of trying to get everything lined up. He knows Bell can get them lined up. He trusts him. And I think that's more of what's leaning toward Bell to start at first. But I think Battle is going to be in there very, very quickly. Unless Battle, and like I said, like you said, Battle had a great year last year. This is no shade on him whatsoever.
Right.
But Lou knows that Bell can do what he wants him to do and get him in the right spots, and that is huge. So that's why I think Bell starts at the beginning and toward. I think honestly very quickly Battle will be in there, during the season. So that's kind of my thoughts, and maybe Battle shows out.
I'm going to put this out here, and it's going to sound a little crazy. I think if Battle shows that he can handle the communication with him, and if he and Geno can communicate well in camp and in preseason games, because I really think the Bengals are going to play their starters a lot more than they have in the last couple of years in preseason. Not a ton. They're not going to be out there playing even a half or anything like that, but they're going to get reps in every game. I would not be surprised if Bell doesn't make it past final cuts. And that's not a slight against him. I think they brought him in as a safety net.
Well, it's not bad to bring him in because Carolina's still paying him, so it costs them nothing.
Exactly. Love the guy. You don't want to just oh, well, thanks for coming back, and then see you later. Go catch on somewhere else.
Honestly, I think Lou would fight that.
But again, if Lou, if the communication between Stone and Battle, they're both incredible. I think Geno Stone is a almost 1-for-1 replacement for Jesse Bates. Bates was a lot, Bates had a higher pedigree. I mean, Bates was a 2nd rounder, where Geno Stone was a 7th rounder. But I mean, in terms of the intelligence, able to play center field, they're pretty comparable in terms of ability. Now, Jesse Bates had an amazing year last year, deserved his All-Pro nod, but
he should have got 2 years ago when it was the Bengals. But
maybe, yeah. But I mean, also getting that huge contract also make even when you're on a shithole team like the Falcons, getting that big contract puts you a lot higher in people's in people's mindset. So
exactly. All right, Paul Painter's got a question here, and this is a good question. He said, if Dax can't make the transition, does that make him a first-round bust?
Yeah, absolutely.
It does, yeah.
Because he can't play safety, and if he can't play cornerback, then what is he?
What is it? And well, the thing is, like I said, if he can't, they want to play outside. I think it's the last default is slot. I think replacing Mike Hilton. I think that's his last.
That's the only other place to play, unless you want to have him throw on 20, 30 pounds and play linebacker.
I think he can play slot now. I think he plays slot and be fine at it. But I want him, if he's a first round pick with his athletic ability and speed, he has a chance, I think, athletically, to be a really good cornerback. He's got to prove it though, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's move on here. We're already 10 minutes past. Linebackers. Logan Wilson, Pratt. Again, they had kind of down years last year. If they don't have to worry about getting people lined up, I keep going back to that because this is one of the huge problem. I think they're going to get back to the way they were. Akeem Davis-Gaither. He had some up and down last year. Marcus Bailey. Actually, he moved on, right? Marcus Bailey moved on, didn't he?
Yeah,
he moved on. Somebody brought this up that they might want to add to that room. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, you're always looking for guys for the back end and for special teams, but Bengals pretty much play two linebackers. And
I'm always talking about injuries. I'm always thinking injuries. That's
right. Right, but I mean, they have guys. I mean, who's the only guy that's really missing from last year? They still have Joe Bacci. They still have Akeem Davis-Gaither. Like, they're fine. Like, I don't see any need for that. Because you have your two starters that have been here for a long time. Your backup is, your third linebacker that, when they do run a traditional 4-3, he's been there for the same amount of time that Logan Wilson has been. So I don't see any need for that.
If I can remember who brought that up on my show, I give him credit, but I can't remember who said that. I'm honestly,
it was a dumb idea. Don't give him credit. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm honestly fine
I don't
with
see
it.
the need.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly fine because, like you said, it's been the same linebacker room we've had for a while. So I'm really good with that. I'm more, like I said, I'm more of the cornerback, but we'll see what happens.
I think a lot of the issue that happened with the linebackers last year too was because of the safeties. There was so much space in coverage between that second and third levels. I mean, just look at the Noah. What's the guy's name? The wide receiver for Houston that absolutely just feasted. I mean, he had like 8 catches for over 20 yards every time. He would just find this cushion. Yeah, that just absolutely just find the soft spot and
you're not talking about Tank Dale, are you?
No. Noah, he played for the Cowboys before that. Noah Brown, is that who it is? I think Noah Brown.
You got me. I'm having a brain fart. I remember. Yeah.
Senility is standard for guys your age.
All right, Dustin here. Linebacker is sneaky huge concern for me. Communication issues, yes. However, Wilson and Pratt are getting ate up by blocks, could not shed and react. Well, if you're not in the right position,
well, but these are also linebackers that should know where to be lined up. Like,
if they're trying to get everybody else, that's the thing. I think they were trying to take on and help Dax line people up. I do.
Maybe, but these are guys. I mean, wasn't it Pratt or Wilson that wore the green dot helmet? I mean, they were they're the quarterback. So
yeah. I mean, and the thing I keep going back to the 49ers game, the 49ers game. They were fucking awesome in that game. They both had interceptions. So,
and yes, it is Noah Brown. He was the wide receiver I was thinking of.
Yeah, there you go. So, like I said, I hear what you're saying, Dustin, but they're both still young players. They've been fine. Last year's defense, just nothing worked right. I'll chalk it up to that unless I see something differently this year.
Yeah.
All right, so we already talked about safeties, linebackers. All right, let's get the special teams here. Punters. Now, I've kind of developed a relationship with Brad Robinson, so I kind of like him, but we need somebody to be able to punt the ball consistently. Yeah. And, Evan, what's the guy's name we got from the non-drafted?
Undrafted free agent, Austin McNamara out of Texas Tech.
Austin McNamara. Punted the hell out of the ball. Now, the little bit I saw on the bridge, Brad Robinson looked better to me by my eyes, just from what I watch where they're practicing on the field. So, I mean, we'll just take that with what you want. And that has nothing to do with me being, somewhat of a relationship with Brad Robinson. Either way, this position.
You guys are such good friends. You don't even have his last name right.
Brad Robbins?
It's Robbins.
Oh, whatever, Brad Robbins. The point being, we have to improve the punting on this team. We're just talking about, we want Joe Burrow to punt the ball, get good field position. You got to have a punter that can boom the ball down the field and put the defense or offense on their heels.
You don't even need to have like Ryan Stonehouse or Tommy Townsend, some of this booting at 55 yards. How about just someone that doesn't suck? Give me Kevin Huber. Kevin Huber was a solidly average punter for basically his entire NFL career until the end. Give me that. That's a guy that he's not going to fumble a snap on a hold. He's a guy that's not going to kick these low shitty line drives. He's not a guy who's going to kick it into the end zone when they're in plus territory. Give me that guy. That's all. I don't need a guy who's going to kick it, unleash one 75 yards. I don't care. Give me a guy who's going to kick it 47 yards and 5-yard return and net 42. Cool. That's what we need.
The thing is, both these guys got tremendous legs, so we're going to have a pretty good. If we get them consistent, we're going to have a pretty good punter that's going to boom the hell out of the ball.
Tina Turner had tremendous legs. That doesn't mean she'd be good kicking in a game.
We're not talking dancers or singers. We're talking NFL punters.
I'm just saying.
I talk about how they punt. They both have. They do. I mean, honestly, they both have tremendous, huge legs. They can boom the hell out of the ball. It's just a matter of doing it consistently, and that's what it's going to come down to. Is whoever can do it consistent enough. And I thought it was going to come down. Which it will. Darren Simmons finds holding the ball a very important thing because Evan McPherson is one of the best kickers in the league. You don't want to mess that up. But the other guy, he's held in college. So Brad Robbins never held until he got to the NFL. Yeah. So he had to work on that. And then there's part of me, I think that was messing with him too. I know it's silly, but mental.
I mean, but you're putting more on someone's plate. But it does. I don't care who it is. I don't care if they bring back Lee Johnson, Pat McInally. I don't give a damn who from the NFL, or from the Bengals, past, present, future. It just somebody just needs to kick the ball, just average.
Exactly.
Again, I don't care if they're kicking it 80 yards. I want it 48 yards and little return. Bengals are probably going to have pretty good coverage units, so kick it high enough so the coverage will get down there.
How are you feeling?
Reggie Roby was fantastic, crypt keeper.
How are you? Are you excited about the kickoff rules?
More curious than excited. I don't know what to how to really feel about him until I actually really see him in action. I mean, it's going to be interesting.
Did you ever watch the XFL?
I did not.
Oh, well, it's basically the same thing.
I thought it was interesting as hell that the Chiefs actually had thought about using Reed for kickoffs, the safety.
I thought you meant Andy Reid. I'm like, wow.
No, not the Walrus. Using Eric Reed. Justin Reed. I can't remember. Anyway,
cornerback.
No, the guy that called. I think it was the guy that. Yeah, he ran his mouth a little bit.
The one he called Hayden Hurst Higbee.
Yeah, Higbee.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
But he can kick. He's kicked before. They've talked about the possibility of using him just to put another guy on there for coverage, which I think is actually kind of a cool idea. I doubt they're going to do that, but if you can land it, between the 20 and the 10, and then get another body on there, that can tackle instead of just having a kicker just trying to kind of get in the way without getting killed.
That's interesting.
So it'll be cool to see it in action.
Yeah, because you get penalized for kicking it out of the end zone now, basically.
Yeah.
You got to kick it between the 20 and 10 or 20 and 30. It's 20 and 10.
I thought it was a 20 in the end zone.
I don't know. It might be. I gotta look.
Kickoffs were boring as shit because the guys are just launching them and then they're just going on the end line. No one's returning.
They're trying to bring back the kickoff return. Is what they're trying to do.
Right. Well, either that
I'm all for.
Right. Either that or just place the ball at the 25 and save the hassle.
See, I don't think.
I don't want that, but I'd rather that than them kicking it through the end zone because then it's just dumb and pointless.
Yeah, I don't think the Players Association will do that because that gets rid of jobs. They will fight that tooth and nail.
Yeah,
you're getting rid of jobs, so that's why I don't think that'll ever happen.
I mean, it's you're not getting rid of jobs. You still have 53 spots, but it's changing. You're not having to keep someone. You're being able to keep someone who's more versatile and can be useful elsewhere besides just returning a kick.
Right. So these guys who you're taking jobs away from guys who you're taking jobs away either way. You are. However you want to look at it, you're taking a job away because they had a job with special teams doing kickoffs and punt returns. Now they only do punts. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been on for 40. What is it? No, hour and 19 minutes.
A long time.
You talk a lot. You talk a lot.
I do. I also get sidetracked a lot.
Yes, you do with roadkill.
Proudly.
Other
Proudly.
things that you do. Yeah, it would be really hard to have you and Pork Chop on here at the same time. I would never get through the damn show, like ever.
Just don't have a topic and just let us riff.
Yeah, well, that's more. Honestly, that's what Monday's show usually is. We get everybody on, and I don't have it, especially here lately because there has been a whole lot going on. So anyway,
I'm not important enough to be able to talk to CD, so it's okay.
Oh, do you want to talk to CD?
I want at least.
Well, you know what? If you come to my tailgate at Wine House, I guarantee you, I'll introduce you to him.
Will they feed us?
What, at Moorline House?
Like how we were fed on opening day, and gave us drinks too. That was nice.
If you go there, it's going to cost you to get in, so you get a ticket.
Okay.
And then you get all the food and drinks. So yeah, they'll do the same
I
thing.
got to pay money to hang out with you.
For this,
I want to do it for free.
Yeah, well, I do too, but you got to pay to get it. Sorry, it goes to charity. It's all for good. It's gonna be a lot of fun. On that note, plug some shit.
Find us. Welcome to the Jungle show on YouTube, Riverfront Cincy, youtube.com, Riverfront Cincy, blah, 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 blah. Welcome to the Jungle show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, 8-track, vinyl.
Does anybody keep saying 8-track?
I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there.
These people don't know what 8-track. Well, I know Chop does, but younger people don't know what 8-tracks are.
Well, then it's gonna come back. Vinyl's
Has
come
anybody
back.
ever if anybody out there has listened to a podcast on an 8-track? I want to know about it. I want to see the 8-track.
Would be dope. Bring back a 45. Just print out. Just get 45s printed or pressed every week. That would be fantastic.
That's messed up, dude. So what do you got? You got a show coming up next week or what?
Well, next week we got a show coming up. We got to figure out a topic because there's still a week to go before training camp starts.
I know. Come on.
Getting there.
Football. I want football.
I know. I think that'll actually be the training camp preview because rookies report on Saturday. So.
Woo! Okay, now
I know.
I might head down there Saturday. Just say hi.
And then because I planned things out right, I'm going on vacation the day after veterans report. So.
Hey, that's perfect.
I know.
Jeez.
Going on a cruise, man. I don't like it's.
You're not gonna be able to do your podcast from a cruise. They don't have the internet there.
I'll do it from the Bahamas when I get on land. Hey, my boy Tim Daniel from Late Night Reds, he's going to be he's on a cruise the exact same time, and we're going to be in the Bahamas at the same time. So maybe we'll record something.
Dude, you both should definitely do that, and you should do it with your shirts off.
Shirtless, topless.
Yes, exactly. Just let all that man meat just come out.
What's whiter, the sand or my chest?
Your chest. I guarantee.
Probably.
All right, Joe. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See you. All right, guys. Go check out Welcome to the Jungle podcast. He's changed the name on me. He's a great dude. I love Joe. We get in arguments. It's okay. I don't agree with everything he says. And what are you doing? Oh, you're drinking something. I couldn't tell what you were doing down there. You just look at me like this. Like, that's weird. Yes, I know. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I've been live streaming on ZTV, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch. You can follow me on all those, along with Instagrams, Threads, and TikTok. And like me and Joe were just talking about, I will be doing, first time ever, I'll be doing a pregame tailgate at the Moorline Lager House each and every Sunday before the Bengals home games. Please make sure you come and check it out. There will be a fee, but you can get in there or have access to whatever former Bengal player we have there that day, access to the great Moorline food, the delicious Moorline Lager beer, and the new thing, access to their bourbon bar, which they're working on right now. I cannot wait till it actually opens. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I will be doing my show that I do on Mondays with Corey Dillon and Ben Wisconsin. We'll be doing it on Tuesdays during the season at Moorline Lager House. Hopefully I'll have some special guests with me, join me at the Moorline Lager House, along with Corey and Cap. They'll be, on the internet. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Please Join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I keep saying that because it's going to be a blast. Anyway, more on Lager House each and every Sunday. Also, Eastsiders, go check out Midwest Best Barbecue. If you have not been there, go there. Tell Tim and Nicole Ice said hi, and Ice sent you. Get you some CTB wings, some Uno wings, some delicious pulled pork sandwiches. Seriously, throw a dart at the menu. Pick something. You'll like it. It's all delicious. Midwest Best Barbecue. Also, shows brought to you by Meyer Doors and Windows and more at www.meyercincinnati.com. If you're lucky enough, Matty Myers will show up, give you a free estimate for your windows and doors, and you can actually look at the Jackpot Joe mobile. It's beautiful. So check out Meyer Windows and Doors, like I said, at www.meyercincinnati.com. Also, Westside Peeps. Joe was talking about it. He's an East Sounder. He actually liked this bar. Of course, it's a great bar. It's Hail Mary's. Your ticket to the game right in the middle of Cheviot. They got big-ass TV screen, beer specials, food trucks, free parking, which is awesome. Free parking is great. Get out there to Hail Mary's tonight. And like I always say, tell them I sent you. Guys, I enjoyed this. Tomorrow, I'm going to have Neil Meyer on. He covers the University of Cincinnati Bearcats. He's just got back from Big 12 Media Day. Also, the USA Olympic basketball team was there, so he was sending me videos of LeBron James and Kevin Durant and all these guys walking by. I'm going, did you ask him to come on the show? No, he didn't. He didn't ask him to come on the show. But we'll be talking UC football tomorrow and what Satterfield plans on doing, and hopefully we'll actually have a winning season this year. And because Joe's got season tickets, so hopefully he gets to see a winning football team this year. That would be nice just for Joe's sake. You know. Other than that, you guys have a great day. Throw it up. That's just sports, baby. See ya!